During an interview that Fox News aired this past weekend featuring host Mark Levin talking to former President Donald Trump, Trump said that he was treated worse than any other president, and he specifically mentioned that he was in fact treated worse than Abraham Lincoln, who of course was assassinated. But Trump still says he got it much worse than Abraham Lincoln. Now, before I read you what Trump said, it is important to remember that this is not the first time Trump has compared himself and said that he was treated worse than other presidents who were assassinated. In fact, it's not the second time that he's done it either. On a handful of different occasions, Donald Trump has repeatedly told audiences, told interviewers that no other president has ever been treated as badly as he has. Here's what he said this past Sunday. Abraham Lincoln, they say, was, he had a civil war going on, but Abraham Lincoln was just vilified. But now they say Trump got treated worst of all. They, right? That big anonymous figure out there, the they that Donald Trump always loves to talk about, they sure do talk a lot of crap, don't they? He continues, because what they did was come up with phony stuff. Russia. It was all hoaxes. The Mueller witch hunt, which turned out to be no collusion. Yes, because being investigated and basically exonerated by your hand-picked attorney general is somehow much worse than getting shot in the back of the head while watching a play, right? Everybody, I'm sure, would rather be shot in the head than investigated and not criminally charged, right? That's what you're saying. That is what Trump is saying here. He had it so much worse than Lincoln. That JFK guy, forget about it. Trump was treated so much worse. Teddy Roosevelt once got shot and then gave a speech with the bullet still in him. Donald Trump got investigated, not criminally charged, and he's still whining about that 5 years after the investigation concluded. I mean, how can Republicans look at this man as they do and think that he is some sort of big, manly man, the epitome of what an American should be? He's a whiner. He is a child. He is an absolute pathetic, pity party throwing loser. And yet Republicans still flock to him. They still think he's the second coming. They think, oh, this poor man has been through so much. He's just like Jesus. Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure he's also compared himself to the persecution that Jesus Christ suffered according to the Bible. But Republicans, if this is your guy, you want to keep sticking with the pity party, man, go for it. In fact, maybe we ought to change your name from Republican Party to the Pity Party. Because that's what you are. You're being led by a giant man baby who will not stop whining and comparing himself to people who were murdered for doing the job that he so pathetically attempted to do and failed miserably at that as well. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.